Well, we talked with Jack Lehner today here on the channel about his second-place finish. Of course, Jack had a pretty good week down there at Volusia, but the guy who is on the phone right now had a little bit better week. He actually won the big Gator. Matt Williamson finished sixth in the opener and then won the last two, so he took home the big Gator. But the big race that we've been talking about a lot was Saturday night, which was one of the better Super DIRTcar Series races we have seen in quite some time. Matt Williamson made an outside move on the last lap to get by Jack Lehner to take the win and get the big Gator. Right now, he is on the New York State Thruway. Let's see, it's about 1:30 on Saturday afternoon. He's going to the Short Track Super Series banquet at Turning Stone tonight. Matt, how we doing?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
Doing very well. So he should get there about 3:30, somewhere right around in there. You're going to take home some money tonight, aren't you?
Well, yeah, Jeff is. Jeff can keep all the money and trophies and all the good stuff. I just get to drive the car.
Well, and you get to walk across the stage, right? So.
Yeah, I got to do all the interviews and stuff, all the stuff that nobody wants to do.
Yeah, but it's better than not being interviewed because you were 31st, right? So let's be honest, right?
Yeah, no, well, I guess you're right there.
Second in points for the North and second in points for the Elite Series. But we'll get to the more on the Super Track Super Series in just a little bit. Let's start with Saturday night. You and I were talking before I hit the record button. You said you almost, well, I'm going to put words, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What was it like going past Jack Lehner?
Obviously I was happy I was winning. But, I was telling him to get going in the car. If he got up there beside Jimmy and tried to go around Jimmy, he probably would have won that race. But I wanted them guys to win. I mean, they worked really hard at it. It's tough when you steal a win away from a guy like that as opposed to, somebody that's won 100 races before. So that was a tough part. But obviously, I get paid to do a job, and if I let off and let somebody else win, then that's not really good. It's good for my career.
Yeah, because Matt is a professional race car driver, by the way, so he lives off of those finishes. So walk me through that last lap, because what is it? He got by you, and then you got by him on the last lap is how it worked?
I think I got by him with like 9 or 10 to go, maybe. And then he got right back by me and kind of opened up a little bit, and then got caught behind a couple lap cars, and I was able to get to where I was in a position where I could throw the last lap Hail Mary.
Did you have a feeling as you took the white flag that just sweeping the outside was going to get you the win, or did you have to kind of wait and see what Jack was going to do?
I had to wait and see what Jack was going to do getting into one. If he went to the middle, and then my only shot is to follow Jimmy and hope that he doesn't get by Jimmy. So, it's just kind of one of them things that you just wait and see what the car in front of you does, and you do the opposite.
Is it an advantage sometimes? Because Jack was saying how, and I've seen this play out, and I know you've been on both sides of this coin. Sometimes it is an advantage to be second at the white. Is it not?
When you're that close, definitely you got nothing to lose. If you're second and the track's rubber down or one lane, per se on the cushion, it's not really a good place to be, and you'd rather be leading at that point.
Tell me about the other win, because Friday rained out. Tell me about Thursday night. I missed that one.
Thursday was pretty similar to Saturday. We got by Demetrius with 1 to go, coming to the checkered. I think out of turn 2 we passed him. So that was a pretty good race too. He had actually probably a 3-second advantage, I think, at one point in the race. And it was only 30 laps, so we just started driving really hard going into 3, and driving up on the cushion and trying everything good to catch him. And when I caught him, I kind of threw a half-ass slider getting in through turn 1 and 2, and then slid myself in 3 and 4 so that he couldn't give it back to me.
Was that, and Demetrius is kind of in the same boat as Jack, one of those guys who's looking for that first series win. Is that another one where you felt maybe a little bit bad going by him?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it's Demetrius has had some good runs. I think he's won series races before. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he's won at Albany, Saratoga, or somewhere before. He's won some bigger races, so that one didn't feel as bad. And of course, Saturday's a bigger race. I mean, it's the end of the week, and everybody wants to win by the end of the week, and it pays a little bit more money, and it just has more to it on Saturday than it does on Thursday.
I've talked to enough of you guys to know that the surface is just different enough at Volusia that you can't really carry much over when you come back north. So what does this? Is this just a kind of a reassertion that, hey, we can win races, or what's your big takeaway from this?
I think we got a good car. We did the same thing we've been doing at the end of last year, this year in Florida, and obviously had success with it. So, everybody that runs bad likes to say that Volusia doesn't transfer over to what you do up here. But I've never seen anybody go down there and win races and not succeed in April. So hopefully we can carry the momentum, and obviously we've got things rolling right now. So racing's like the ocean. There's waves going in and out, and the wave's going to hit the shore eventually, and you just got to ride it as long as you can.
I like that. Good analogy. So, well, I guess what I heard, Matt, was that it was kind of sandy, that the surface was different. Is it?
We're still on the same. Last year we were burning tires down there. This year, we ran 300 all week. It didn't tear them up. They were in pretty good shape. So, it was pretty similar to what we would do at Canandaigua as far as like tire wear. But yeah, it's faster. Unfortunately, the racing down there is unreal. Unfortunately, we come back up here and we go to places like Weedsport where you'd be lucky to see somebody pass for the lead in 50 laps. So hopefully we can get more racetracks to race more like Volusia, and like Brewerton. Brewerton is a lot like Volusia, and we've had good success there. So I like them racetracks where you got to pick a lane, and it's not more barely touching the gas kind of racing.
And when you talked about with the 300 is the harder tire that they run in central New York, but then you go to Can-Am and some tracks up north, and they run a 400. Was that even a consideration, or was it 300's pretty much carved in stone?
The Saturday night we thought about a 400, but we just stuck to what we did at the beginning of the week and what we succeeded with at the beginning of the week, and kind of just rode that.
Is it as simple as if you get some long green runs, that 400's going to wear out?
No, if you get a 400 is actually harder than a 300.
Oh, I'm sorry, I went backwards. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if you get a long green flag run, a 400 might fire, but it kind of feels like you're on ice until it does fire. Ranceville, we have a lot of nights where you could get away with a 400, but it just, if you get an early caution or a caution, towards the end of the race, you're kind of a sitting duck.
What's the difference? How long does a 400 take to come in versus a 300? Let's say on a restart.
All depends on the racetrack. You could go to Oswego, and when the track starts to lax rubber down, the 400 will fire right off. But then if the rubber goes away, you could spend 150 laps trying to get that 400 to fire, and it just won't fire. So, and then you go to places like Cornwall where you'll run a 400 in hot laps and time trials, and it'll fire right off. So it depends on the racetrack. The surface of the racetrack. It seems like anything north of Lake Ontario or northeast of Lake Ontario, you seem to be, running a 400, and anything south of Lake Ontario, seems to be like 300 country.
Then that's about the line, isn't it, really, when you get right down to it? I want to thank Bicknell Racing Products, by the way, one of our sponsors, Swift Springs as well. So when do we suit up again, Matt? When is your next race?
We got Hagerstown in 2 weeks, 2 weeks today, actually. Looking forward to that. I've never been there, so it looks like a cool little racetrack. That's with the Barron's number 3 car. And then after that, we go to Sealands Grove, and then Bridgeport, and then Atomic. So basically from next weekend on, we race, or 2 weekends from now on, we race every weekend, once or twice, plus midweek shows all the way to November 5th after Charlotte.
Yeah, off-season is over for guys like Matt. So we'll enjoy the banquet tonight. Good luck with everything else, and I'll talk to you again soon. I appreciate you calling me right back, Matt. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Thanks for having me on.
Hit the blue E, guys. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, and we'll be back with more tomorrow.